Okay guys, so I'm going to be making some roasted smashed potatoes for dinner tonight. So here I have these small red potatoes. I've decided to leave the skin on, so I washed it well. I washed the skin first, and I just put it in this pot here with some water, and we're going to boil our potatoes first, okay? So we're going to boil our potatoes for about 5 minutes. Now what I'm going to do in this pot of water here, I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda or baking soda. I'm not going to be adding any salt to this, nor am I going to be adding any chicken stock cube. If you have seen some of my videos when I make mashed potatoes where I don't leave the skin on, you will see that in order to flavor the water when I'm boiling my potatoes, I will put a chicken stock cube. In this case, I'm not going to do that because I'm leaving the skin on, and I'm just going to be using this baking soda in my pot in order to boil my potatoes. And if this helps, the baking soda will have to soften the potato so I wouldn't have to boil it as long, okay? All right, so I'm just going to leave this to come up to a boil, and when it comes up to a boil, then I'm going to start my timer. All right, so as you can see, our potatoes are boiling away. So you can boil your potatoes between, say, 5 to 8 minutes. Okay, guys, so while our potatoes are boiling, what I'm going to do is, in my cast iron skillet, I'm going to roast my potatoes in this. So I'm going to be adding some ghee to this, all right? You can use whatever you want to roast your potatoes, whether you want to use oil, whether you want to use lard, whether you want to use butter. I'm going to be using ghee, but I want to heat this up. So I'm putting the ghee in now, and then I'm going to put this in the oven so that this becomes heated up and the ghee melts, okay? So I want to make sure I have enough ghee to roast these potatoes. All right. So I'm going to be putting this in the oven now. All right, so I have my boiled potatoes here. I'm going to add it very carefully to my hot ghee. I have my oven preheating at about 220 degrees Celsius, or we can round it up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We want to make sure that our potatoes are dry as possible. We don't want to add any liquid to hot fat. All right, so now we're going to smash these potatoes. I'm going to smash it, and I also want to flip them over so that actually no, I need a flat surface, some other flat surfaces. Right, I'm going to try this glass and see if this will work. Smash it. My skillet might be too small for this. I don't know if everybody will find a space, but they will all have to cozy up together. All right, so what I'm going to do now is sort of toss the potatoes, like flip it over then in the ghee so that the other side can get, so I might have to add some more ghee to this if I think it's too dry. I am also going to add at this point some cloves of garlic to it. Okay. So I have about, about 5. So I'm going to roast the garlic in with the potato. All right, I think I'm going to add just a little bit more ghee to this. Let me get a spoon here. There was a spoon here. So I'm going to add a little more ghee to this. Let it melt in there so that the potato has enough ghee for it to roast. Get nice, and we want it to get nice and crispy. All right, so let's put this into the oven. I'm going to put this into the oven between 35 to 40 minutes. And let's see how nice and golden it gets at that point in time. Okay guys, so I had this on for about, I would say about 35 minutes. So at this point, here I have some rosemary. I'm going to just put some of this rosemary in it. I'm going to add my salt at this point in time. All right, we're going to use a spoon and mix it up. So I'm just going to sprinkle the rosemary here. All right. I'm going to add my sea salt. Add some sea salt at this point. Okay, and I'm also going to add some Mrs. Dash garlic and herb seasoning blend. All right, let's use our spoon now, so we can turn it over. You can see the underside got nice and roasted. That's exactly what we want. That's what we like to see. So I'm going to put this back in. Actually, you know what? I have a little bit of Parmesan cheese remaining, not much. I'm going to sprinkle that little bit in one corner of this. Right. So I'm going to put this back in the oven for another 10 minutes or so. 10, yeah, not 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, it's basically a person's preference how long they want to leave it for. But let me just sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on this. So I just have a little bit here remaining. So I'm just going to do 1/2 of it. Because really I'm not supposed to use cheese. So that's why I'll just leave it on one side. I mean, this is not much, so hopefully it shouldn't cause too much problems for me. All right, so let's put this back in the oven. To finish roasting. Guys, can you hear the sizzle? You can smell the rosemary. It smells really good.